fields. We did have a heat at Christchurch, which was dominated by the Fahey Kennels. They ran the top four in the qualifier, and obviously they got the first two through. Then we headed to Top Prosecutor's win at Hattrick last Friday night, so 7 days ago. Option 965 is a look at that market with the box draw done after the final heat on Sunday. Mark, we'll take a look at some of these heats as well with you. But firstly, what's your summary on the strength of this year's Waterloo Cup field?
I think it's excellent, Mark. Particularly the Karen Walsh run has had a great deal of interest, Thrilling Boris and My Tensile, because they haven't raced much on the two-turn tracks. And then, of course, you've got Jean and Dave Fahey, who provided the first two qualifiers out of the Christchurch heat last Thursday night with the Majestic Action and also Opawa Shackley. We're going to have a look at that heat now. Majestic Action is a very strong dog, and when he was in front of Opawa Shackley, he was going to be very tough to beat. Look, it was a pretty cool night, and the track was just a touch sticky, certainly running a little bit slower than normal. And with Majestic Action in front here, Opawa Shackley just wasn't able to pick him up. Now, they were never going to break any records on the night, but it was a solid time given the conditions. Opawa Shackley has at times been perhaps not at her brilliant best in heats, but in her very best form for the final, and the same could apply here. Just a note, Mark, that Majestic Action raced at Ascot Park on Tuesday and ran fourth. It was a close fourth and a pretty good field behind Opawa Norris. In fact, it was a classic finish. It was only about a length covering first to fourth, and there were some quality dogs in it. And he gets box one, and he's taken some money, but it is his first look up there at Manukau. Opawa Shackley's been up there and has won there before ahead of the Auckland Cup. She fell in the semi. This is the race from last Friday here at Hattrick, and Top Prosecutor thankfully got in off the ballot. That's it in front, number 9 over Corborn Brick, the 1, and the other two qualifiers. Now, the interesting thing about the race is Top Prosecutor was at his brilliant best through the first 2/3 of the race. His closing sectional was surprisingly poor, and Corborn Brick got surprisingly close to him, and he ran significantly slower than he had the week before when he won here in a 29.94, and he was 30 and 25 there. That's a slight concern for Top Prosecutor, who draws 4 in the final, has only had one prior run at Manukau. Let's have a look at the two heats out of Sunday at Manukau. There were two heats there, as there weren't enough nominations for one at Cambridge. And we'll check the action out here with My Tensile in a race that was affected by scratchings with Craig Roberts' dogs not being able to travel. And My Tensile led off the inside. Doesn't hold the rail, pushes out a wee bit. Fantastic Sid was up beside it early and stumbled badly there when it was checked, and so that took a bit of the interest out of the race. Timmy Trumpet's right on the back of My Tensile here, but My Tensile kept kicking in a 30 and 50, and Prophecy ran through on the inside underneath Timmy Trumpet to grab second for Glenys Farrell. It has box 2 in the final. My Tensile has the 6. And in the other, Karen Walsh won this as well. Watch the 5 dog, Thrilling Boris. Eva Diva, the 2 dog, goes hard early, but Thrilling Boris gets up and around the outside. Now, his overall sectionals were a touch better than My Tensile, and in the end he's won in a significantly faster time, 30.33 compared to a 30.50, and it's only his second run on this particular track. And I was taken enough by this performance, Mark, to think that he could win the final at reasonable odds in the final with drawing underneath My Tensile. He's a reliable beginner and will probably hold its line and might be an issue for Opawa Shackley early. So I went with Thrilling Boris on top of My Tensile, going with Karen Walsh's team. Don't want to leave Opawa Shackley out completely. And Top Prosecutor, I think, for me, is potentially the question mark dog, and does have Corborn Brick to its inside, who's probably going to press down a little. I think it's a terrific field. I'm thoroughly looking forward to it. And the great thing is it brings dogs from around the country, obviously, so we get the best of the best. They've qualified on different tracks, just adds that touch of difference, I guess, to a Group 1 race.
All right, Mark, looking forward to your call of that race, the Waterloo Cup, the time-honoured Waterloo Cup, coming up this coming Sunday at Manukau Stadium, part of our Trackside 1 coverage. And option 965, final field, option available. Opawa Shackley, who was Future's favourite, is now equal favourite with My Tensile, both at $3. Drawn boxes 7 for Opawa Shackley, 6 for My Tensile, so they're both at $3. Option 965, we've got $8 for both Top Prosecutor and Majestic Action. Majestic Action draws 1, Top Prosecutor in the 4. We're on start time for this one from Geelong here on Trackside 1. If you're punting, it's meeting code 38, race number 1. We're about to take you on course with the favourites in this opener. Should start from box number 3, that is Nitronian. It's had the 2 starts for a win and a placing up against a couple of debutantes here. We join the call at Geelong.
Runners getting set here for the first. John Brown and our RSN listeners, welcome aboard. Ready for the opening event. Move Jetting Signs Maiden. Nitronian at $1.90, green light. Set for the first of 12 on a good card here at Beckley Park. They're racing. Beginning well from out deep was Marlow Blackhawk. Going fast was Ferndale Gara. Got to second, 2 lengths away. Ben's Talon, Nitronian throw on the inside. Next of all was Rangiora. Deeper out Ashland. Well back in the race. Big in and LeBron Slam around the turn. Going up the track. It's Ferndale Gara leading for home. Nitronian got a beaut run through on the fence. Nitronian, Ferndale Gara, Marlow Blackhawk, Nitronian. Nitronian beat Marlow Blackhawk. Ferndale Gara fourth, either Rangiora or Ashland. Next in big end, well back in the race was Ben's Talon, LeBron Slam last of all. They go 23 and 45. Nitronium, favourite scores. Had a little bit go in his favour, Nitronium, but goes on to score. Got a lovely run through on the rail. Ferndale Gara went up the track, took Marlow Blackhawk with it, and Nitronium was left with a ginormous passage to go through, and he made the most of it, and he breaks his maiden here at start 2. Numbers going.
Should pay $1.80 and $1.20. Clear class dog in the race. It wins our opener from Geelong, meeting code number 38. Back to Alexandra Park on TAB Trackside 1. Second leg of the quaddie on the way. Possible anchor in the quaddie. And the fixed odds is no doctor needed, $1.55 with the bookies. Back with you, Craig.
Here's $1.55 mark after opening at $1.75. Of course, he starts off 35 metres tonight, but what's in his favour is they'll condense very quickly the small field, and he is a very, very good beginner. He's had 12 starts from a standing start, and he's won a couple of them, placed on 3 other occasions. Very good last week. A lot of people were disappointed that he didn't win that 1,700 metre mobile. But, Mark, when you go back and you clocked him and what he actually went in that race, he ran his last mile on 1:55 and he broke 55 seconds for his last half. He ran him at 54.9, no doctor needed fresh up. I don't think he could have got any gone any better. And he got beaten by horses that had had a couple of runs. Arden's Choice, she's been racing very, very well. So no doctor needed, deserves to be favourite for race number 7 tonight. In the end, Dobson Colours is Little Rascal, the son of Pan Pacific Flight. Hasn't raced since the Jewels. I caught up with John Dunn earlier. John, Little Rascal, it's in a small but very select field in our feature tonight. The 2 trials he's had this time in, both times I thought he's got to the line really well.
Yeah, he has definitely found the line great. And key tonight, we're stepping cleanly and safely. Even being a small field, you sort of can't afford to give them any links at the start. So, but even what he did last season on the track, he's got to be a great chance.
You went through those 4-year-old races against the good 4-year-olds, John, later in the part of the season. I thought he wasn't far away. This time up, we think we've got a stronger horse?
Yeah, definitely. He's matured with the wee spell after the Jewels, and so hopefully we can be in for a great season.
Little Rascal, very smart horse on his day, and the key to him is to get him away quickly off that 20-metre handicap and try and get a little bit of an advantage over No Doctor Needed and Start Dreaming. Good chance, Little Rascal tonight. $6.50 the book, $7.80 the tote. Caught up with Sean Grayling earlier in the night because the stable have got 2 runners here, both of them fresh up, Ideal Bell and Start Dreaming. Sean, the stable have 2 in our feature tonight. Let's talk about your drive, Ideal Bell. She's been off the scene for quite some time. How's the workout form going into tonight?
Her workout form's very good. She had quite a quick trial on last Saturday behind Huey Green. She ran home good. She got to the line quite well still, and she's done well from it, and first start up, we'll see how we go.
She's a mare that's had 5 starts from a stand, so it looks like the stand's not a problem.
Yeah, no, she's a good beginner and that, steps away. She's such a lovely horse to do anything with, so we'll see. We'll step away and we're thereabouts, top of the straight. We'll hopefully be closing late.
Talk about the stablemate, Start Dreaming. I thought her trial on Saturday was very good. Looked to get the line pretty nice behind a nice type. Fitness-wise tonight, where's she at?
Yeah, she's pretty right fitness-wise. It was a pretty quick trial last Saturday, and she, like you said, she did get the line real good. She's looked real nice getting the line. She's such an honest horse again, tries hard and that, always gives 100, so she'll be close.
Just on her, I know Barry's driving her herself. Tonight she hasn't been from a stand on race night, but the standing starts at the workouts have been quite good.
Yeah, they have. She's a pretty willing horse to do anything with. She stepped away both times at the workouts. It's a different thing again at the races, but she's been, like, she's so honest, so easy to do anything with. She should be right from the stand.
He's had a pretty good night tonight, Sean Grayling. Of course, he was placed with a roughie Broforks S earlier in the night, and he won the first aboard the very smart Jack's Legend for the stable. He takes the drive on Ideal Bell. The two mares by American Ideal resuming tonight. Start Dreaming. I thought maybe the more forward of the two on what I've seen in the last 2 weeks. I thought her trial very good behind Huey Green, who'll go around again tomorrow at the workouts. She stepped quickly last week, and they ran a very quick last quarter. So Start Dreaming, standing start at the trials, a little bit different to race night, but I think she will step off the 20-metre handicap. I went 6 on top to beat 4 and 5. Zach Maguire chucked in the deep end a little bit here from the inside. Never been from a stand. Probably for Zach Maguire, he's more known as a short distance horse, 2200, 1700, 2700 metres tonight and from a stand. There's a couple of things against him. If he was happened to be slow away, the other ones would get in front of him and he'll lose his advantage. So Zach Maguire, that's why he's at $12, even though he's probably got the best form in the race with 4 wins from his last 5 starts. The horse beside him is First Home. 7-year-old now, of course owned by Brenda Gain and Scott Plant, WD Lightburn. This one by Better's Delight for the Telford Garlic team. Jay Abernathy take the drive, stablemate of No Doctor Needed. $30 for First Home, and he'd be a big roughie in the second leg of the quaddie tonight. First Home, pretty good from a stand though. Expect him to be your early leader. Aaron Waters, I come to you for our feature tonight. No Doctor Needed last week. I know he got beaten, but when you look at the sectionals he run, he couldn't have gone much better than he did. Chances tonight that he may step quick enough to catch them early, and what we'd seen in the No Doctor Needed in the past, he's good when he finds the speed and finds the front. I know 35 metres is a long way back, but I can see Scott Phelan putting him in the race at some stage.
Yeah, I just see the key to the race too, Craig, is that there's not really one horse that'll run them along. If they do manage to step away and get away, they'll find their spots, and I just can't see. First Home's one of those that might look to run them along, but First Home's best chances would probably to be trailing a better one and try and pull them into a placing. So Scotty might be able to get around cheaply here at some stage with No Doctor Needed. He's clearly on top for me. He's got the fitness advantage over his main rivals, who are all fresh up tonight, albeit off 35 metres for No Doctor Needed. Scotty Phelan back in the sulky. The 4 Start Dreaming. The only question mark, that first standing start. Good to get that information from Sean Grayling, of course, that at the workout she has been pretty sensible from the barrier strands. Ideal Bell, she's been good fresh up. She has to be considered in the race, and the 5 Little Rascal, who was a very good winner over risk here back in mid-May over tonight's 2700 metre trip. 6, 4, 3 and 5. Little birdie tells me too it's LB Gaines' birthday tomorrow, so happy birthday LB, and let's hope we can give you a birthday present tonight. Barrier strands release, and they're off and pacing and blowing the start, Ideal Bell. So the first out will be First Home from Zach Maguire, who's negotiated his first stand start okay. Up into the third is Little Rascal, and they're followed then by Start Dreaming, who has also negotiated the stand start like it's off. And further back in the field then to No Doctor Needed, and 8 lengths off the back of No Doctor Needed, Ideal Bell after muffing the start. So they sweep across the showgrounds turn first occasion, and whipping around now to take up the lead is Zach Maguire and the Chief David Butcher by a couple from First Home as they work into the lane, and 3 back on the inside then is their Little Rascal and John Dunn, and they're followed then the next as they work through the lane, Start Dreaming, the American Ideal mare fresh up, Barry Purdon in the sulky. Race favourite No Doctor Needed on its back, and a couple away to Ideal Bell. So 2 circuits left to go, and they've found their spots in the early part of the run. I don't think the order will change too much for a lap. And the leader is Zach Maguire, leading by a length and a half. From in the trail is First Home and Jay Abernathy, and 3 back is Little Rascal. They're followed then by Start Dreaming. Scotty might be looking to come out on No Doctor Needed as they turn up into the back straight here. And on its back is Ideal Bell. So through the back straight they run, 1,700 metres out in the Sim Pacific Medals handicap pace. And it's Zach Maguire in front. From First Home, and there followed Little Rascal, Start Dreaming. The lead time 1:32.3, so they did find their spots, and they're just getting along at a leisurely speed for this grade of force. No Doctor Needed, still back 5th and 2nd last, and 6th and last is Ideal Bell. 1,400 to go as they sweep across the showgrounds turn again, and Zach Maguire leads by that length and a half from First Home, as the order remains the same. 3 back on the inside is Little Rascal, the son of Pan's Pacific Flight, as they turn into the lane. Here's Scotty coming now with No Doctor Needed. Start Dreaming stayed in, and then Ideal Bell opening quarter 32 and a half. So it's Zach Maguire down to the Judge Bell and 1 to go. He was a wee bit tardy off the mark, but he's found the front. He's been getting away with a pretty cheap lead too, Zach Maguire, the son of Better's Delight, and strides into the final circuit a length over No Doctor Needed, who comes up now to look at him on the outside as they work around the stables. Corner back on the inside then to First Home. Start Dreaming's got the back of the favourite, 1-1 for Big Bar. Back on the inside then to a Little Rascal and Ideal Bell the last. 31 and a half the next quarter, into the back they go. Sims Pacific Medals pace, and the speed cracks on now. Zach Maguire, No Doctor Needed, he's got the ears pricked, sitting out parked. Seems to be quite comfortable there. Back on the inside is First Home. Start Dreaming's in the 1-1. Then Little Rascal, 3 back on the inside. Ideal Bell the last as they come off the back. 4:50 to go. Zach Maguire with the sprint right on, 400 out, and the back straight quarter 26.6. Back on the inside then to First Home. Start Dreaming, Ideal Bell looks to come around runners, and then Little Rascal homeward bound. Zach Maguire, No Doctor Needed. Start Dreaming down the outside, Ideal Bell in behind is Little Rascal. Zach Maguire, No Doctor Needed. Start Dreaming starts to lengthen hard on the outside. Here she comes fresh up. Start Dreaming over the top for Barry Purdon. Start Dreaming, nice return. Second Zach Maguire. Third across was No Doctor Needed. They were followed by First Home, Little Rascal, and Ideal Bell's gone a good race considering she let a lot of ground go at the start. 3:30.1. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we've had a new last 800 metre record set tonight. 53.7. 53.7 last half. Start Dreaming. If our time is right, boy, oh boy, what a nice win. I Start Dreaming back Zach Maguire. No Doctor Needed will be third. Happy birthday, Albie. And First Home will make up the first 4, does he? There through on the inside with him, Little Rascal.
Official placings race 7, the Sims Pacific Metals handicap pace. 416-253. 416-253. Horse 4, Start Dreaming, paced the 2,700 metres from a stand in a handicap and a net time of 3:28.5. Mile rate of 24.3. Last 800, sensational, 53.7. The 427. Margins 1 1/4 lengths, 3/4 of a length, a half neck. 416-253, race 7, the Sims Pacific Metals handicap pace.
Start Dreaming back at the head of the field. Start Home Bloodstock Limited and MB Jeffries, the owners, congratulations. A lovely return by your American Ideal, Simply Divine Bay 5-year-old mare. She stepped the mark like a toff, having her first stand start tonight. It's career win 7 at start 18. Barry Purden, the trainer at Clevedon, and Barry to come back at the head of the field. Simon Prendergast and the team down there from Sims Pacific Metals, part of the victory celebrations. Pat Gubb, race night steward of the Auckland Trotting Club, also in attendance. Studhome Bloodstock Limited and GF Gimblett, the breeders of Start Dreaming. Second over one, Zach Maguire, Better's Delight Black, 4-year-old Entire out of Zanola Starbuck, Lincoln Farms Limited, IA Middleton, the Beulah Bell Syndicate, M. Letton, M. Rabbit, D. James, MJ Brereton, BP Rabbit, the owners, Ray Green, trained at Pukekohe, David Butcher. And for third, number 6, No Doctor Needed, Mark 3, Molly Darling, 6-year-old Bay Gelding, SR Plant, AS Gain, G Plant, Miss N Plant, SJ Stockman, the owners, Steve Telfer, Chris Garlick, trained at Papakura, and Scott Phelan. The totes. We'll see number 4, Start Dreaming. Return $4.40 and $2, $4.40 and $2. 1 Zach Maguire, $2.70, $2.70. 6 No Doctor Needed, no third. Quinella, $23.20, $23.20. Trifecta, $85.40, $85.40. The first 4, $442.30, $442.30. 8 and 4. In the double, Reel Me In now with Start Dreaming, $14, 14 even. 8-1 concession, $11.30, $11.30. Pick 6, there are 6.1 live units remaining in Pick 6, 6.1 live units remaining in the Pick 6 competition as we go to the second last. Crombie Lockwood Mobile Pace, 2,200 metres, they all start. Samaritan number 2, 170, 190 the favourite. 8 Laredo Torpedo, 580 and money back. 3 Turbulent Flow, 860, 230. 4 Art of Gold, 870 and 2. 6 Machine Guns and Gems, 13 and 270. The 8th is time to go in 21 minutes, and that'll be at 14 minutes to 10.
And they'll make a bit of noise, and she's always a good solid chance even off the middle boxes. She can show out early. Her recent racing's been at Manawatu, which has included a win. Her form line doesn't read as consistently as it did a wee while ago. Tom's had an injury or two. One of them looked quite serious, but she's bounced back from that okay. So she is very capable despite the draw. And 7 Corborn Steve, look, he's definitely in the wrong spot for him, but he does downgrade off some actually, pretty solid form in better fields. So he's going to need a touch of luck from there, but you wouldn't want to rule him out the way he's been racing, as I say, in stronger company quite well. And after that, there's nothing you completely rule out. Elite Dose has never won from close in, but she's run some solid enough races there. Last start, she's been beaten off box 7 by Allegro Lash. She is up in class because she was a winner 3 back. Opawa Lee ripped off quite a quick win. 17.73, running past Mary Blueblood at big odds 2 starts back, then finished at the back in the final off the same draw, box 3, when she didn't pick the jump the same. Corborn Rowan's got a lot of early speeds, just fallen right out of form. To the traps, the last race 12, book your function at Hattrick, Class 3 Sprint. Big Time Runnings off the inside, then Opawa Lee, Gold Rug, Scooters Rose, and Corborn Steve the black. Elite Dose Box 2, Corborn Rowan the blue, Chambo the green, Allegro Runnings the pink. Big Time Runnings is the favourite off the inside. Runnings inside and outside. He will run fastest in the last. We're set. Racing, Big Time Runnings comes out running, and Allegro Runnings is last away. Big Time Runnings leads here on Elite Dose and Opawa Lee, and right round the outside, Chambo going with big strides. They'll be followed then by Corborn Steve. Sneaking past that was Corborn Rowan. Opawa Lee is back. Allegro Runnings is back, also well back here. Scooters Rose now. Up they come. Chambo over the top of Big Time Runnings. It gets second again. They'll be followed through then by Corborn Rowan's got a big race, then Elite Dose. Followed in there by Corborn Steve, Scooters Rose, and well back was Allegro Runnings. Chambo, the winner at big odds here, 17.72, run home 10.72. Would you believe we've got another 7-second lead up? I think it's about the fourth. 7 flat. 6-1-4 and 2. Chambo, John McInerney, Mark Bell, the owner. First McInerney winner of the night and win 17 in its career. Jumped up in grade and he's delivered off box 6, which was not easy to do. One was out fast, but again couldn't hold. It's run a fair sort of a race. Allegro Runnings out the back, doing a bit of hurdling there off the back of Scooters Rose. 6-1-4-2 in the last. And about the only thing we haven't had are the margins, which may or may not pop up now. Don't think that board's going to move again. Sammy Stone and Chambo back at the head of the field after race number 12. And that's the night. We had 3 wins for Nathan Udy. We had a couple for Lisa Ahern, and the Kite family. Fred won 1, Wendy won 1, and Susie won 1. So well done to them. And Lynn Bleak got a win on her birthday too with partner Ross. That was Raging Demon a little early on, and that's the night. On behalf of the team, directed by Bruce Black, we bid you good evening. Of course, many are backing up tomorrow across at Hawke's Bay for Windsor Park Plate Day, and all the best to Dave McDonald too, 40th anniversary of his commentating wonderful career being celebrated tomorrow at Ascot Park for the harness down there. Big first 4 to finish here, Mark, in keeping with the night, I guess. Racing hand in hand with Alexandra Park, and they've had their upsets tonight. I'll catch up with you, or viewers anyway, on Sunday for Waterloo Cup Day Group 1 out of Monaco with Elizabeth Whelan hosting on course.
Good on you, Mark. I'll be hanging around, I'm sure, and I've seen a photo on social media from Peter Fenimore of the presidents of both the Auckland Greyhound Racing Club, John Roberts, with Sandown CEO Greg Miller. Ahead of Sunday's Waterloo Cup, a bit of a function on and a few beverages. Of course, the winner of the Waterloo Cup gets an invitation to contend a heat of the Melbourne Cup, should they choose to accept. $13 winner in the last on Friday night's program here at Hattrick, though. $13.10 for Chambo in our last. Quaddy paid $3,360.40. The treble paid almost as much, $3,308.60. Place 6 paid $15, wrapping up the night. And you're looking forward to that coverage Sunday, Waterloo Cup Day from Monaco Stadium. TAB Trackside 1, our coverage takes us to Richmond. Second race from Richmond tonight is a maiden final over the 535 metres. It's our next race for you to punt on. Plenty of racing on Trackside 2 going on, and we've got our first race from Singapore in around about 40 minutes from now, 50 minutes from now, do the maths, 50 minutes from now, 20 minutes past 10, and our next race from Alexandra Park comes up at 9:46, so we're a quarter of an hour away from race number 8 tonight. It's a rating 48 to 49 mobile pace there, or it's an up to a rating 48 to 49, so up to, because you've got rating 41s and 47s, and It's Okay Being Better and Samaritan. So it's an up to a rating 48-49, up at 9:46. We'll take a break now. We'll get set for Richmond after the break, and we'll have a look forward to the feature in New South Wales tomorrow, the Colgate Optic White featuring Winx.
got the champion mare. Winks is drawn away from Rebel-Dane. Hartnell going into third. Here's the season premiere of Winks, and what a blockbuster season we're in for.
This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. She's walking on fire.
Winks is on fire and certainly searching for that record of consecutive victories, which should be coming up for Winks fairly shortly. Chris Waller saying that the team are prepared for a defeat in the near future, because obviously the horse will have to be beaten at some stage unless she retires, obviously with the trying to get this consecutive record. Not so much Black Caviar, because Winks has been defeated in the past. $1.15 into $1.10, and obviously this race changing complexion as one of the main rivals of Winks, the import Tosin Stardom, has been scratched out of the race. Known as the Colgate Optic White Stakes now. You'll never turn down a sponsor. Formerly the George Main Stakes, named after the former president of the AJC. Sounds like Tosin Stardom cut a leg on a float trip from Melbourne to Sydney, so quite unfortunate, which has left this small field to contest that particular race. And we've got other small fields as well. This race on the program from Randwick Racecourse. Hartnell's at $1.40 in from $1.60. Preferment back at the races, 9 into $6.50. So Hartnell and Preferment will take on the likes of Who Shot the Barman. Good to see that horse back in the mix. On option 115 tomorrow, as we look through some of these Sydney cards for Saturday afternoon. That is the running of the Hill Stakes, so that's a race which has also taken a wee bit of a hit field size-wise. Here's the shorts. Option 117, English, 250 into 230. It's been backed, and it is certainly one that the team from Formline in Australia from Sky Channel have labelled as a good thing tomorrow, despite that wide alley for the 1100 metres at Randwick, 250 into 230. Clearly Innocence on the drift, 9 into 850 for Kaepernick. Here's a look at option 118. This is the Bill Ritchie. It's at Group 3 level. Happy Clappers, 480 out to 5. $5 for Federal and Zaritza. Hand Fast is 750 into 7. Happy Clapper will start favourite there in the running of the Bill Ritchie. So the Colgate Optic White, the George Mains, option 116. The Hill Stakes, 2,000 metres with a very small field, is 115. 117 for the shorts, and the Bill Ritchie, option 118. Sydney, featuring Winks, George Main Stakes Day is going to be the main meeting. A bit of a quiet day in Melbourne before things really heat up at Caulfield. We head towards the Caulfield Guineas and the 1,000 Guineas and the Caulfield Cup, with preludes for that tomorrow in terms of the Caulfield Guineas. And then we get into the Caulfield Carnival. Not a Wednesday this year, I don't think. Usually they have the 1,000 Guineas on the Wednesday, but they've changed the program, I'm sure, to Saturday. No 1,000 Guineas Wednesday for Caulfield this year. Richmond, that's where we turn our attention to next. On trackside 1, we've got race number 2 on the way, maiden final. Marashihar, 190 on fixed odds. One Joey Rockets at $3. Those are the only two that punters want. They are in single figures for this one, with the dog drawn the black and white taking most of the money in betting here. This dog is a bitch by Fabregas out of She's Quoted. She's won twice from 5 starts, including last week here at Richmond. She won a qualifier for this maiden final from box 6, and she's drawn box 2 for the final. She won by 4 lengths in the quali. She's at 190. One Joey Rockets at start 4. All 3 starts that he's had have been here at Richmond. 2 of those have been qualifying trials, however. 1 tote race, that was for second in the Marashihar qualifier. So the 1 and 2 from the quali have drawn boxes 2 and 1 in terms of the first and second place getter respectively. Looking to see, the other qualifier winner was dog number 5, Dream a Dream. Won from box 1 last week and defeated Summer Gun. Summer Gun's not running here in this qualifying final. We can head on course. First of a TAB treble here from Richmond. If you're punting, it's meeting code 39. Matt Nichols has gone 1, 5, 3 and 8.
Arizona Xena and Dream a Dream, Memory Road, You Know Arjo. Deep Conviction, Rainy Land and Murashia. This is race number 2. It's the Agnes Dura Lemon Lime and Bitters maiden final. Second line's going in. And there's the green light. Race number 2 from Richmond. Favourite in the 2, Murashia. For Christy Sultana. All set. Racing, missed the start, Murashia. Joey Rocket began nicely, but Murashia is now driving under Arizona Xena and Rainy Land, and wider was Juno Arjo to the first turn. Murashia led. Into second spot was Arizona Xena the inside. Then came Rainy Land, a gap back now to Juno Arjo. Dream a Dream got shuffled back. Deep Convictions back with it, as is Joey Rocket and Memory Road. Off the back, Murashia off and gone, led by 5 Arizona Xena. Rainy Land in third spot, and a gap back Juno Arjo. Joey Rocket runs on to the bend, and it's all Murashia, and Murashia is going to win easily. Getting up for second was Arizona Xena, Rainy Land third. I think Juno Arjo was next, and Joey Rocket was wider on the track. Further back then came Deep Conviction, last 2 Memory Road and Dream a Dream. 2, 3, 4 are your likely numbers here. 3101. 2, 3, 4 and 7 getting fourth. 6 1/4 was the winning margin. 2.5 between second and third. 3101 overall. Number 2, the winner, Murashia, has now won heat and final, so 2 on the trot. By Fabregas out of She's Quoted, owned and trained by Christy Sultana. Number 3 running second, Arizona Xena, by Michelin Bale out of Arizona Pearl for Elizabeth Bont. So she's runner-up in the first 2 races, and Rainy Land by Collision out of Fine and Fancy for Alan Hansen.
2, 3, 4, 7. One of the qualifying winners, the impressive quali winner from last week, Murashia, started favourite and will pay around about $2 in race number 2 from Richmond. Alexandra Park, an up to and including rating 48 to 49 event is on the way. So that means Samaritan gets in here at 220 as favourite, 270 on the tote. Closely followed here, Craig, by Laredo Torpedo for Brent Mangos at 290.
Yeah, we'll catch up with Sean Groening very shortly with his thoughts around stable runner Laredo Torpedo, but all the money's here with Samaritan, Mark. First up for the new stable, Stephen Reid hasn't been seen on race day or trial since the 27th of May. Always had great gate speed, this horse, so lovely draw. Tony Hurley, he takes the drive and is the talk on course, runner number 2, Samaritan. Second favourite is Laredo Torpedo, the stable representative, Sean Groening. Sean, Laredo Torpedo hasn't drawn that well tonight. Brett Mangos takes the drive. Were the stable pleased with his last start run?
We were real happy with it. He did a lot of work early and that, got the thing, and he still fought on quite well up the straight. And that, I know he's a little bit off the winner and that, but they got the soft run on him. But no, he's just another honest horse and tries his hardest, and he always gets 110%. So, yeah, I'll expect him to go a bold race tonight.
Laredo Torpedo, son of Better's Delight. This one for Katrina Purdon along with Terry Henderson and the Clearview Racing Syndicate. And of course they owned or partly owned Jack's Legend in the first. And talking to the syndicate, they're telling me Sire Stakes heat, yes, but it won't be at Cambridge. So he'll come back to Alexandra Park, Jack's Legend. So we may not see him at Cambridge next Thursday. He may be saved for the Auckland heat of the Sires Stakes. Talk to Kyle Marshall. He takes the drive here on Machine Guns and Gems. Kyle, you drive one for your dad, Machine Guns and Gems in the 8 tonight. A nice mare that's been whacking away in pretty good maiden fields. Chances for her tonight?
I think there is a chance. It's sort of dropped back in grade. Last start at Cambridge, she did a bit of work. I think the lead time 42, and she was parked the remainder of the race, which doesn't really suit her. In the start before that, she just got too far back. But yeah, she does race good, and yeah, I can see her going well tonight.
She's at $12, $3 a place for runner number 6, Machine Guns and Gems. Leader update in the Kiwi Punters Challenge, or Kiwi Punters Championship from Petone and PMO 818. Booze Up Loves Beauty, 696, into win 668, Tarzan, 588, and LGG, 370. That's the update from Petone with the leader on $818 after starting with 500. Still a couple of races left to go. We'll get an update on the Auckland one. here at Alexandra Park. General punters, or serial punters, 617. Green Machine, 561. They're obviously Canberra Raiders supporters. Jewel of the North, 484. We're the Foxhat, 438. And Same a Name, who was the early leader at $412. So, as I say, it's been a struggle tonight. 617 leads Alexandra Park's heat of the punting championship. I understand Petone got huge entries down there. I think talking to the Petone guys that they may have it up to about 20 at in their competition down there, and we got about 12 at Alexandra Park. So good on the Wellington boys for being involved. Samaritan 210 130 in front of Laredo Torpedo. They're my top two here. I thought of the rest, Art of Gold. If you're looking for a roughie at $10, Andre Patama takes the drive. Hasn't got a lot of race day form, but the trial form has been good from Franklin last week, and Art of Gold was very good in winning there. Trained by Shane Judson. Definitely be putting him in my top four along with Turbulent Flow. He ran him at 56 seconds when running fourth behind Goddardali Queen last start at Alexandra Park. So for me, it was 2 on top to beat 8, 4 and 3. Aaron's 8, 3, 2 and 4. 8, 3, 2 and 4, just in a different order. He's got Laredo Torpedo on top. Pick 6 is down to 6.1. 6.1. And the quaddie got to 78,000 for the late quaddie at Alexandra Park. Of course, the first two legs going to Reel Me In and Start Dreaming. Aaron, as we come to you for the 8th tonight, a lot of word around Samaritan. Laredo Torpedo, though, he was much better last start.
Yeah, he was. He was run down in a pretty good maiden field a couple of weeks ago. That was in the Naylor Maiden. There'll be plenty of winners come out of that race. And, of course, the time before that did Gallop fresh up. And his only start as a 2-year-old, he was beaten 7 lengths in behind Billy Badger, so finds himself in a nice enough maiden field to see him a winner, and I think he will be too at $300.50. Brent Mangos for Barry Purden. Put in the 3 Turbulent Flow ahead of Samaritan. Turbulent Flow worked home okay when fourth in behind Gotta Go Darley Queen last time. Samaritan, well, he was with Ray Green for 3 runs, and I think he drew one on at least one occasion there, and he carried good support in his first 2 starts and disappointed on those. So obviously there's plenty of confidence with him going to the Reid McMullen team with Tony Hurley aboard that they've ironed out a few of the issues that Samaritans had, and 4 Art of Gold in the mix. And my long shot tonight is Machine Guns and Gems, number 6. I thought her run 3 starts ago on this track when working home nicely in behind Ngā Nui was good enough to see her a chance in a weakish sort of maiden. 8, 3, 2 and 4. Red light on. Crombie Lockwood Mobile Pacefield brushing up. It's okay being better off the inside. Turbulent Flow, Samaritan to come to barrier 2. Art of Gold and Luna de Mile. Thank you, Craig. Samaritan to get onto the mobile gate here. Wanting to flick the head in the air too, Samaritan. Laredo Torpedo, the second favourites, drawn up on the outside. Into the lane. 2200 Crombie Lockwood Mobile Pace, green light flashes, they're racing, no gate speed from Samaritan. In fact, he's Gallop Samaritan, the race favourite. So first out, Turbulent Flow and Art of Gold. Now Machine Guns and Gems across to third, back on the inside, It's Okay being better than October Rush. There followed Luna de Mile. Laredo Torpedo's being taken back into the field, as Keeper's Art and Samaritan. He's doing it all wrong out the back, and he's been very costly for the loyal punters that have gone again. And he's no chance as they work up into the back straight. Machine Guns and Gems about to take over here for Kyle Marshall. Racing it though, Art of Gold for a stride or two. Machine Guns and Gems does work to the top now. Then Turbulent Flow. Luna de Mile now looking for a spot on the marker line, trying to get underneath here. Now Laredo Torpedo, the second favourite's galloped. Goodness me, have we got a full moon? Both the favourites are galloping out of contention here. It's been one of those sorts of nights at the park, hasn't it? Moving up on the outside was Keeper's Art from Luna de Mile. Back in the field, It's Okay being better. And then October Rush and Laredo Torpedo. Well, luckily only lost about 8 lengths in the gallop, is now only 3 to 4 lengths off the back of October Rush as are about to work into the lane. Samaritan, no chance. Machine Guns and Gems, the lead time in 43.7 in the opening quarter. quarter, 33.5. So Machine Guns and Gems, the Santana Blue Chip mare, down to the Judge Bell and 1 to go. From Keepers Art, J. Abernathy, Sitting Park, back on the inside then to Art of Gold, Andre Potama with the Lovely Dragon, the trail at the bell, and they walk past us. In the 1-1, It's Okay Being Better, Turbulent Flow, 3 back on the inside. Back in the field, October Rush around Luna de Mile, Laredo Torpedo, last of the winning chances, and 20 lengths away in the field to Samaritan. Out to the 800 they go. The next quarter completed in 32.2. Machine Guns and Gems. She's had a very soft time of it in front, and as a consequence, Kyle Marshall swinging on her. On the outside, second, Keepers Art. Art of Gold goes nicely in the trail. 1-1, It's Okay Being Better around Turbulent Flow, October Rush and Luna de Mile. Laredo Torpedo has 7 lengths to make up. Machine Guns and Gems going nicely tonight. Leads a length and a half from Turbulent Flow. The back straight quarter is going to be posted in 29.9. Looking to run now, Laredo Torpedo. Turbulent Flow getting away from the inside. Machine Guns and Gems, she'll line up a length and a half now from Art of Gold. Laredo Torpedo getting to the outside. Machine Guns and Gems, Art of Gold a length away. Laredo Torpedo starts to extend. Machine Guns and Gems in front. Art of Gold comes strongly. Art of Gold gets to Machine Guns and Gems, and Art of Gold's a maiden no longer at start. 20, Andre Potama from Machine Guns and Gems. Good run, Laredo Torpedo, after giving punters plenty of anxious moments at the 1600. Gets up for third. Photo fourth between Turbulent Flow and October Rush. Back in the field then was Luna de Mile. They were followed further back to It's Okay Being Better, Keepers Art. And the favourite Samaritan galloped inside the first 100 metres and was never a factor after that. 247.3, 27.8 was the final quarter. Art of Gold, the artificial 5-year-old. Shane Judson, the owner and trainer out of Pukekohe, and Andre Potama, after getting a soft run in the trail, gets on the outside of Machine Guns and Gems, who goes down bravely. Laredo Torpedo after that gallop at the 1600. And he got back onto an even keel, gets home for a third, and it does look as though Turbulent Flow will make up the first 4 in the Crombie Lockwood Mobile Pace.
Official placings, race 8, the Crombie Lockwood Mobile Pace, 468-391. 468-391. Horse 4, Art of Gold, paced the 2200 metres in 247.32. Mile rate of 22.4. Last 857.7. The 427.8. The margins 3/4 of a length, 1.5 lengths, 2 3/4 lengths. 468-391, race 8, Crombie Lockwood Mobile Pace.
Or Art of Gold back at the head of the field, raced by trainer Shane Judson. Career win 1 at the 20th time of asking. Comes back at the head of the field, Andre Potama in the sulky. Roger Barnes down there, part of the victory celebrations. Race night steward of the Auckland Trotting Club. Artificial 5-year-old bay gelding at a tall blonde. Bred by Hambletonian Limited. And Art of Gold, after a couple of nice runs in his last couple of outings, gets his maiden success tonight. 6 Machine Guns and Gems in for second. Santana Blue Chip Brown 4-year-old mare out of Isha for RG and Mrs. P.E. Frampton. David Marshall trained at Cambridge and Kyle Marshall. And in for third, 8 Laredo Torpedo. Better's Delight Zingara Brown 3-year-old colt. Mrs. KJ Purden, TF Henderson, RM Baker, Clearview Racing Syndicate number 1, Standardbred, Solid Gold Standardbreds, and Mrs. C. Norsbaum, the owners, Barry Purden, the trainer, Clevedon, Brent Mangos. 4 Art of Gold, $8.70 and $2, $8.70 and 2. 6 Machine Guns and Gems, $2.20, $2.20. 8 Laredo Torpedo, $1.40, $1.40. The Quinella returns $43.50, $43.50. Trifecta $331.70, $331.70. And the first 4 returns $1,085.60, $1,085.60. Pick 6, 0.3 of a live unit remaining. 0.3 of a live unit remaining in pick 6 going to the last race tonight. The last on the card is the Fashion at the Park, 14 October. Handicap trot over the 2,200 metres. Put a line through Mega Speed. Number 6, 3 CK Spur, 210, 220. 9 Granado, 822.30. 2 Demoiselle, 860, 180. 11 Precious Moment, 980 and 2. Lovely Bundy, number 5, 11 and 220. The last is time to go at 10:15 and 20 minutes time. Good luck with your investments there. Not forgetting Fashion at the Park. It'll be a great night here, especially if you're into your fine fashion, as we display plenty of the spring collections from many of our fashion designers on the 14th of October between races. The package, $99 per person, includes the sumptuous 3-course meal along with a glass of bubbles on arrival, a deluxe goodie bag, race book and show guide as well. Further information, alexpark.co.nz. Good luck with your bets in the last, and 20 minutes of betting time available.
We head to Shepparton in Victoria for harness racing out of Australia, and this race here is race number 6 on meeting code number 22. It's a class 4 to 5 mobile pace, and the tips of Dan Malecki are 10 to beat 6, 2 and 1, so 10 Motu Gatecrasher is the clear best backed runner in this race, and on top the Entire by Changeover, who's won 9 from 16 with the 4 minor placings, is trained and driven by Jeff Webster and will come off 3 the second row. 10 on top to beat number 6 Drive the Dream, who's a $20 shot. It's had 2 wins in a second, but they've been in New South Wales. 2 wins at Wagga, followed by a placing at Young in New South Wales before coming south of the border to Victoria. It's drawn barrier 6, the outside of the front. So that's in for second for Dan. He's put in number 2, Live Lavish, in for third. Barrier 2 and 1, Fiery Achiever, in for fourth at start number 121. The South Australian pacer is trained by Laura Crossland now. Has had 2 runs across the border in South Australia. 3 starts ago was at Albion Park. That was back in May, so it's certainly travelled around as Fiery Achiever. I think it's a Kiwi expat as well, Fiery Achiever. He's a 10-year-old. He's by Courage Under Fire out of Smooth Achiever, and he's drawn barrier 1. He's on that $9.70, almost double figure line of betting on the tote. So 10 to beat 6, 2 and 1 for Dan Malecki, meeting 22, race 6. We'll take you to Shepparton.
Mate of the previous long price winner, Wandalinga Dream. The runners are starting to move up. Fiery Achiever drawn the pole. Live Lavish out of gate 2. Winebro Toto. It's trimmed up from long odds into about 15 now. Number 3, Winebro Toto. Peking Duck in the market at $10. Carton Merger, the outsider, at $55. Drive the Dream, number 6. Reese Maguire drives at $21. And the back line, Skippy Rascal at $6.50. Daylight Dan $11 and Motu Gatecrasher $170. All set. Race 6 is the Ian Slater pace. Wantalinga Dream won the first leg of the quaddie at good odds, $20 on Super Tab. And they're ready. Green light on and they're racing. Fiery Achiever from gate 1 was the best out. and it leads quite clearly. Trying to push forward now to get up outside of it was Winebro Toto, and a little bit further out was Peking Duck into the turn. Skippy Rascal is behind the leader, running into that first bend, and then came Live Lavish. Settling down in about 6th position, one off the pegs, Daylight Dan from Motu Gate Crasher, the favourite third last, and the two behind it are Drive the Dream and drifting back Carton Merger. Entering the back straight, Fiery Achiever's tackled now by Peking Duck, and Peking Duck just sailed on by. Peking Duck is race clear of Fiery Achiever down the back straight, and this puts 3 back the pegs, Skippy Rascal. On the outside 4th is Winebro Toto. Then next in saving ground the inside was Carton Merger from Live Lavish. Next on the outside, but settling down third last as they work their way off the back at the 1400 metres is Daylight Dan, and then Motu Gate Crasher, and last is Drive the Dream. Peking Duck is the leader. Lead time 42.3, and Peking Duck leads Fiery Achiever, who ends up with a pretty good sit-in behind it after leading comfortably early. Third, Skippy Rascal on the inside. In 4th spot as they work their way into the straight, Winebro Toto. On the improve is Daylight Dan. Then next the outside as they work past the 1200 metres is Live Lavish. On the peg line was Carton Merger. Motu Gate Crasher. All the drivers, or a number of them I've seen looking around to see where it is. Well, it's still second last out of the straight, and Drive the Dream at the rear. 30.7 for the first quarter of the last mile. And Peking Duck is in front, and it leads from Fiery Achiever. On the outside sitting third, Daylight Dan. 4th is Skippy Rascal. Around it running 5th as they go past the 800, Winebro Toto. Next is Carton Merger. On its outside, Live Lavish. Motu Gate Crasher getting going 3 wide, and Drive the Dreams at the tail of the field. 29.7 for the second quarter. Heading along the back straight, it's Peking Duck, 2 metres, Daylight Dan. Motu Gate Crashes, made ground very quickly, goes up 3 wide and is going up to tackle him. Continues on with its run, and Motu Gate Crasher has swept to the lead going off the back straight. It's roared away, built up momentum and not stopped, it's dashed away. Drive the Dreams made good ground to get up into second. Peking Duck is gone, it's roasted well and truly. Into the clear, Live Lavish makes ground. Third quarter, 29.1. Motu Gate Crasher, he had to go early, he bolted clear of them, leads by 10 metres into the straight, and it's Motu Gate Crasher well clear and is going to win easily. Good battle for the Miners with Drive the Dream and Live Lavish. Drive the Dream has run second, Live Lavish third, unlucky runner 4th, Skippy Rascal. Then came, next time was Winebro Toto, Fiery Achiever. It got dragged back by the tiring Peking Duck. Third last was Carton Merger, second last Daylight Dan, and Peking Duck, well, it fell off the plate in the end. 28.3 the final quarter. The mile rate was 157.7, and the favourite was Too Good. Motu Gate Crasher, Jeff Webster, well, when he let it down, it just made up the ground, and he must have thought, I've got here that quick, I haven't really let him go yet. And he just let him run with momentum rather than grabbing hold, and he has walked in. In the space of about 200 metres, the favourite's gone from a position where you weren't really worried to being, without a shadow of a doubt, he was going to win. 10, 6, 2 and 8.
Oh, it was far too good here, Motu Gate Crasher. It's picked up its 10th win at start 17 easily. 10, 6, 2 as they've crossed, and I think 4's got 4th. 10, and no, it won't be, because Peking Duck, that was number 4, and it's run Stone Motherless, and you'll remember plenty of dining shtick from Dan Malecki. So 10.62 will get the 4th number shortly there from Shepparton here on TAB Trackside 1. And of course Fiery Achiever, formerly with Robert Dunn, last seen in New Zealand in 2012 before it was exported. Runner number 1 in that race at start number 121 tonight. So 10.62 Shepparton. We are here at Globe Derby for our next. It is meeting 25, race number 3. We head to South Australia, and Tyrion is the favourite for this one, a 4-year-old stallion by Courage Under Fire out of an Armbro operative mare to be driven by Ken Rogers. It's at start 20 tonight. Its 3rd win came here earlier this month by a length and a half. This entire was victorious on the 5th of this month. A $2.60 bookmaker's favourite, option 253. $2.90 is the tote price at this stage. But there is support for the runner drawn the second row, number 8, Wonder Force. $2.90 with the bookies, $3.90 on the tote at the moment. Aaron Brown trains. Ryan Roy-Horrick will take the drive. Son of Blissful Hall, 7-year-old bay, He's at start number 15. He's second up. He last raced in January of 2015, so he's had a year and 3/4 off. Wonder Force. He's second up from a year and a half, a year and 3/4 off. That first up run was on the 5th, where the horse ran 6th. Should be much fitter for that. It's runner number 8, and it's heavily backed in this market. 390 second elect, 290 on the tote. It's drifting out the tote now, but still 290. Option 253. Jimmy Jakes in race number 3 will get you his selections, with the top 2 in the market being numbers 2 and 8, and that's the way Jim's gone. 2, 8, 6 and 1 here in race number 3. Now at Alexandra Park, 3 and 11 are the only 2 runners covered. 0.2 on the 3, 0.1 on the 11. So 0.2 on the 3, 0.1 on the 11. If either horse wins, jackpot 150. If either of those 2 covered horses win, at Addington 150. If not, 200, thanks to our race day team. So we know already what the pools will be. So if one of the covered runners wins in the next at Alexandra Park, 150 next Friday night. If neither horse wins of the 2 covered, then 200,000 next Friday night at Addington. Thanks to our team from race day for passing on that information nice and early ahead of the final leg of pick 6 tonight. 3 and 11 are the runners covered. We'll head to Globe Derby for race 3. Here's Jim Jakes.
Steps up in quality a little bit here. Mighty Sea when the pressure's on usually takes the set, so I'm predicting that we'll see a bit of pressure put on by Tyrion for the lead, and see what happens from there. Wonder Force comes up as the late mail special, was on the second row. It's into 290, opened up at 350 this afternoon on UBet. Money came for it straight away. Drawn inside the second row. Favourite Tyrion crunched into $2.40 on the tote. Set. Away and racing. Tyrion is going to work to the front. Mighty Seawind's going to be happy to take the sit behind it. Out wide going forward, he's ever so clever, and also Bow Artist. Back behind those was All Hail Caesar, then Wonder Force. Let's see how it gets around the first turn. Still doing everything right. Back behind those Graffiti Lombo. And at the tail end of the field, as they make their way back into the back straight now, is Let Me At Him. Tyrion out in front, clear leader by 5 metres. In second placing, moving up on the outside, he's ever so clever, and Bow Artist gets 1-1 covered now. On the inside was Mighty Seawind. Back behind those, Graffiti Lombo, All Hail Caesar. Wonder Force is in second last placing. Let Me At Him, the only horse behind it. Close favourite, Wonder Force. Late push for it on the UBet tote. 260, 150. Tyrion got out to 290, 150. First quarter covered in 31.2. Tyrion leads by a long neck. On the outside, he's ever so clever. Bow Artist is 1 out, 1 back. On the inside is Mighty Seawind. Graffiti Lombo 3 back the inside. All Hail Caesar shades it on the outside. Wonder Force is back in second last placing. Just inclined to lay in slightly there. And at the tail end of the field, following it through, was Let Me At Him. Out in front, Tyrion on a firm rein, leads by a long neck. He's ever so clever. First quarter 31.2, then 30.3. That gives him a 61.5 first half. Right, here it comes 3 wide with Wonder Force now, is trying to get up closer to this leader. Mighty Seawind's had a good run behind the speed, sitting behind Tyrion, then Bow Artist. Wonder Force is tickled up, struggling to make the ground, is gradually improving, but he's under pressure to do so. On the inside of those, Graffiti Lombo, All Hail Caesar, and Let Me At Him. Out in front, Tyrion, going well, leads by a long neck to a metre, 400 to go. In second placing, he's ever so clever. Mighty Seawind on the inside. Wonder Force off the track 3 wide, continues to make ground, but been under pressure to do it. And now All Hail Caesar's coming around his outside. Here they come in the front straight. 29-2 the third quarter. Tyrion, he's ever so clever. Wonder Force, All Hail Caesar down the outside. Mighty Seawind goes to the inside. All Hail Caesar, Mighty Seawind. Mighty Seawind, All Hail Caesar. All Hail Caesar, Mighty Seawind. All Hail Caesar beats Mighty Seawind. Third, dead heat between He's Ever So Clever and Wonder Force. Not far behind those, Tyrion. On the inside, Graffiti Lombo. Let Me At Him, and Bow Artist was one of the last to pull up, but only about 6 or 7 metres from the winner. All Hail Caesar has beaten Mighty Seawind. Very tight for third. He's Ever So Clever or Wonder Force in that photo. It'll be 4-1 and a photo after race 3, the high gain release pace. Number 4, All Hail Caesar. Bay Golding, 5 years. Julius Caesar out of the grind.
So 4 beats 1 there at Globe Derby in South Australia. We'll have that official result for you shortly, but we are about to wrap up the Kiwi Punters Championships heats 4 and 5 tonight with the last at Alexandra Park. It's been a bit of a difficult old night. We've got a short-priced favourite in this last here, Craig, and CK Spur.
It hasn't been a favourites night, has it, Mark? Been a difficult night at the office, hence why we're down to 0.3 live in pick 6. But it's been an enjoyable night, and there's been a couple of standout performances tonight. I thought the winner of the first was very, very good. Jack's Legend, one to watch, Mark, in upcoming weeks. We had the fastest last half on record at Alexandra Park tonight. We Start Dreaming, I think, paced around 53.5 its last 800 metres at Alexandra Park. Quite an incredible run, defeating Zach Maguire and No Doctor Needed. I caught up with John Dickey earlier in the night. Mark, I wanted to talk to him about this very hot favourite, CK Spur, in the last. John, you got CK Spur, maiden trotter in the last, coming off his 2-year-old campaign. He's now 3 and he's had the 1 trial. What did you make of it?
Yeah, very pleased, Craig. He did make a mistake just short of the line, but he shied at something on the outside fence, I don't know what, but just took his mind off the job, and but he came back trotting very quickly after that. Yeah, very pleased.
It's nice looking trotter, John. Have you got a bit of a opinion of him?
Yes, I have, Craig. I think he's a horse that will go places, but he does need a few runs, and hence the standing start tonight, and just a few runs, and just get him used to going around and without shying, basically.
You've changed the gear. I noticed some blinds on him tonight. That'll sharpen him up a bit.
Yeah, it is. He did it his very first start. It was a 2-horse race here, Craig, and when he was a 2-year-old, and he shied at the winning post and galloped that night, but I'm hoping the blinds tonight will sort of rectify that and go good race tonight. Yeah. If
he gets through safely and trots all the way, ability wise, he's obviously better than a maiden.
He is way better than maiden. He's not a bad horse, Craig. But I say he's just a klutz, and when he's that Pegasus Spur at different stages at times, they go through that learning curve, and he's exactly at that stage now. But when he gets through it, he'll be a real nice horse.
Stable Star Speeding Spur back in work yet?
Started yesterday, Craig, actually. Just did 3 rounds of the track, which wasn't much, but man, he's full of himself, been a cold. He's been locked up for six months in a box, so no, he was pleased to get out, and he was pleased to get in the paddock too.
Motown, is he back in work?
Motown's been back jogging about a month now, Craig, and he looks tremendous, actually. Yeah, really does.
Got a good team around you. Must not so bad getting up in the morning when you got these horses going.
Well, lately, as you know, Josh is away on holiday, so we've been getting out a bit earlier. But no, you're right, it does make a big difference, and as I was, hopefully it continues, that's for sure.
Good luck in the last, team going well, and let's hope he trots all the way.
Yep, thanks very much.
What I can tell you about CK Spur, he's really alert, took everything in. He shied a couple of things on the track going around, and obviously under lights the first time. Big field tonight, not going to be easy for him. As I said, I wouldn't be touching the $1.60, but he's getting out. He may get to $2. Ability-wise, no doubting that. Got a big motor, but he's got to do things right. He had a gallop at the trials the other day. John said they've changed the gear, put the blinds on him just to keep his mind on the job. No doubting that if he trots all the way, he is the horse to beat. I do like the horse down the bottom, Precious Moment. I think she's got a lot of ability. She'll give him the 30-metre start, but she is a race winner. Sean Grayling, he's got a drive in the last. Her name, Demoiselle. Sean, you pick up the drive on Demoiselle in the last. Zach Butcher usually takes the drive. I know you've got better hands than him tonight, so we're expecting a big run. Can she run in the money tonight?
I definitely think she can run in the money. She steps away good in that and get around the first bend, and she's handy enough. She's got quite a bit of speed. She should be able to get over top of them and really threaten them up the straight. So hopefully we can be there or thereabouts without doing anything wrong or doing any work, and we'll see where we end up the straight. But I think she'll go close.
Driving wise yourself, you have a pretty good start to the season. Happy with the way things are progressing?
Yeah, I've had a real good start. I got a bit of luck on the way too, a couple of races, but everything's just sort of been going right to start off the season. I can't really complain at all.
Mate, you're driving well. Let's hope that it continues tonight.
Thank you very much, Craig.
He's picked up a winner tonight in the first aboard Jack's Legend, Sean Grayling. Update in the Kiwi Punters Championship at Petone. It's PMO 7:59 with one race to go. Into Win 6:18. Booze Up Loves Beauty 6:06. LGG 5:05 and Tarzan 4:88. Any one of those could win with a decent collect in the last. How are we looking at Alexandra Park? Serial Punters, 645. Green Machine, 511. Jewel of the North, 504. So again, very tight at the top, only $130 between first and second, and about $135 between the top three. So anything can happen in the last race. Been a very difficult night to make money after a lot of roughies have taken out legs of the pick six and the quaddie tonight. I can tell you the pick six will pays. Two horses are covered. CK Spur and Precious Moment. They will both be the pull. In the quaddie tonight with the big $78,000 quaddie, will pays with Tuamata Lass 5,700. Demoiselle 2-2. The favourite way is with CK Spur at $800. Helen Shapiro 3,700. Lovely Bundy, I do give a good chance to, 2,700. 11,900 with Halley's Last. Speedy Lavros, 2,100. Granado's just over 1,000. 3,700 with It's Now or Never. And Precious Moment, 1,500. Those are your will pays for the late quaddie here at the park tonight. I marked them 11, 3, 5 and 9, and the last 11, 3, 5 and 9. Aaron, as I come to you for the last time at the park tonight, thanks for your help. Of course, no trotting at Alexandra Park next Friday night. We'll be back in a fortnight for the Spring Cup.
Yeah, we certainly will be, and we look forward to that Spring Cup too, with Huey Green to make his resumption in a couple of weeks' time. So we certainly really look forward to that. And after tonight's performance of Start Dreaming, it's going to be a good clash.
Just quickly on that, Aaron. Update from Kevin Smith tells us that possibly Rocker Band will be here for the Spring Cup in a fortnight. Good. So that'll be another edition. Chuck and Huey Green, obviously, no Dr. Needed will be back. Talk to Barry Purdon. Definitely Start Dreaming will be here in a fortnight, along with Ideal Bell. We may have a little bit of a bigger field than what we originally thought.
Yeah, I think we will. It'll be a competitive race, whatever field we get together, and that's for sure in 2 weeks' time. To wrap up the night here, Craig, I'm going to stick with Granado, the son of Pegasus Spur, over the 3 CK Spur. We'll put in the 10, that being It's Now or Never. Doesn't deserve to be at $17. It's Now or Never in this field. And Precious Moments in the mixes. Let's come forward for the Fashion at the Park. 14 October handicap trot to wrap up tie night here at Alexandra Park. They come forward. Granado's playing up out wide. Speedy Lavros also on unruly draws. Barrier strands released now. And they're off. Demoiselle's galloped at the start, as to Granado. And now Speedy Lavros has gone up in the year as well. So CK Spur down and trotting in the early stages. Whistles off to the early lead by 2 or 3 from Tuamata Lass, and they're followed by It's Now or Never up on the outside, then to Halley's Last. They're followed then by Lovely Bundy as they work the stables corner, then Granado, Demoiselle back in the field. Helen Shapiro back then is Precious Moment. Speedy Lavros the last, so they trot up into the back. They've got 1,750 left to go. As galloping around that first corner was Demoiselle. So in front is CK Spur. The Wizard Todd Mitchell on the Pegasus Spur, 3-year-old, leads by a couple. Over Tuamata Lass in the trail, and there's 3 to 4 lengths. It's Now or Never and Nicky Chilcott, followed by Lovely Bundy. There's 4 lengths away in the field, then to Granado. A gap away to Precious Moment with Helen Shapiro. Further back in the field, Speedy Lavros, Demoiselle, and what's Halley's Last done? It's galloped and now right out the back. 51 and 1 was the lead time as they sweep across the showgrounds turn, and CK Spur having his first run as a 3-year-old, and he's getting on with business nicely in front. From in second is Tuamata Lass as they work into the lane, and they're followed It's Now or Never, and then Lovely Bundy, Morris McKendry getting to the outside, Granado into the 1-1, 2 or 3 lengths then to Precious Moment, 4 lengths Helen Shapiro. The other trio couldn't win, 33 and 1 the opening quarter. CK Spur, Judge Bell 1 to go, leads by 2.5. Tuamata Lass has had the nice run in the trail for the Chief David Butcher, and up on the outside then to Lovely Bundy as they sweep around the stables corner, their final time this evening. Back on the inside, It's Now or Never. Granado beautifully spotted, 1-1 for Jimmy Stormont, and then Precious Moment, 800 left to go. 31 and 9 was the next quarter in the Fashion at the Park. 14 October trot. CK Spur, the final favourite of the night. He's still away by a couple. Lovely Bundy on the outside of Tuamata Lass, and then Granado on the outside of It's Now or Never. And then Precious Moment. They're the winning chances. 10 to 12 lengths away. Helen Shapiro, 500 to go. CK Spur trots off the back. Leads by a length from Lovely Bundy the outside. Back on the inside, Tuamata Lass. And then Granado. It's Now or Never. Precious Moment, back straight quarter, 29, CK Spur. Lovely Bundy's right there now on the outside, Tui Mata Lass. Precious Moment starting to work home around Granado, homeward bound. CK Spur lifts nicely for the Wizard Todd Mitchell on the outside, Lovely Bundy. Then Granado, Precious Moment, CK Spur though first up as a 3-year-old, and he's going to do this in very good fashion. CK Spur down to the line and wins by 2.5. Second over was a Lovely Bundy. Precious Moment, nice run up for third after the early mistake. Then Tui Mata Lass and Granado. It's now or never back in the field. And then the mistake makers, Demoiselle, Speedy Lavros back with those. Helen Shapiro, Hallie's last 254.2, Homan 28.8, 57.9 the last 800 metres. Pretty professional display. A wee touch of pick 6 will go tonight. One of only 2 horses covered. The other was Precious Moment by that 0.3 of a live unit. And he's strode along nicely in front, CK Spur. Lovely Bundy's been game in defeat, and they were followed then by Precious Moment. A good run after that early mistake in Tui Mata Lass. Number 1 to make up the first 4 in the Fashion at the Park. 14.
Official placings, race 9, Fashion at the Park on the 14th of October, handicap trot. 3, 5, 11, 1, 9, 10. 3, 5, 11, 1, 9, 10. Horse 3, CK Spur, trotted the 2200 metres from a stand in 254.20. Mile rate of 27.4. Last 857.9. 428.8. The margins 2 3/4 lengths, 3 1/2 lengths, 1 3/4 lengths, 3, 5, 11, 1, 9, 10. All official race 9, Fashion at the Park on the 14th of October, handicap trot.
Judge Graham McLennan with the final call, and it goes the way of CK Spur, Mrs. KJ De Jong Kennedy, the estate of Cole Kennedy, along with KJ Foley, Mrs. CD Foley, the breeders of CK Spur, the owners. John and Joshua Dickey prepared at Clevedon, the Wizard Todd Mitchell back at the head of the field. Paul Lowther, race night steward of the Auckland Trotting Club, down there, part of the victory celebrations after a pretty impressive return as a 3-year-old by CK Spur. Peckers of Spur, Jasmine Alicia, 3-year-old Bay Gelding. 5, Lovely Bundy second. Love You, Kelly Bundy, 5-year-old bay mare for the Hoofit Racing Syndicate. Mrs. S.J. Grant, D.V. McGill, GR and R.L. Knight, along with Mrs. W.A. Robinson. Andrew Grant trained at Morrinsville. Morris McKendry, 11, Precious Moment for a third. The Prez Brown 5-year-old mare at Just a Moment, raced by Mrs. L.L. Hamilton, along with Miss S.A. Shaw and Mrs. A.P. Harris. Stephen Argue trained at Pukekohe, and Stephen doing the driving. Totes in the last 3, CK Spur, $2 and $1.50 to the win, and $1.50 the place. 5, a Lovely Bundy, $2.70, $2.70. 11, Precious Moment, $2 even, 2 even. Quinella, $15.50, $15.50. Trifecta, $111.10, $111.10 in the first 4, $1,876.30, $1,876.30. 4 and 3 in the double, $13.60, $13.60. 4, 5 concession, $29.80. $29.80, 443 in the final treble, $98.10, $98.10 the final quaddie, 8, 4, 4 and 3, $808.60. $808.60. Place 6 tonight, $2,452.30, $2,452.30, and pick 6 has been partially struck by points 2 of a winning unit. $99,089 was in the pool there. So 20% of the near 100,000 struck in pick 6, 6 no way else, 3 Soul Man, 8 Reel Me In, 4 Start Dreaming, 4 Art of Gold, 3 CK Spur, $79,000 carry forward to next Friday. And I understand that pick 6 next Friday night jackpots to 150,000, so a guaranteed 150,000 pick 6 next Thursday and Friday night. Thursday at Cambridge, Friday at Addington. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we trust you've enjoyed the tie night here at Alexandra Park. Certainly enjoyed bringing it to you. We race here again in 2 weeks' time. Until then, from the commentary box, Aaron White bidding you all a very good evening and a safe weekend.